So the first years, Blender was freeware, and then we got investor money, and then the business was about 10 million.
What? Wait.
So what the fuck? But the business didn't work out. The investors pulled the plug, and they said, Tom, we're going to put Blender in a drawer, lock it, and throw away the key, and you should do something else.
What did you do?
You cannot say to an open source project, hey,
come do what we want.
Come do what we want, and then I will use it. If you don't want to use Blender, that's fine, it's your problem. But if you want to use Blender, then please come on board with Blender. So I don't want Blender to be in Hollywood. I want Hollywood to be in Blender.
Oh, yes.
How do you get access to the market? How do you make money as a filmmaker? We want to solve it by enabling everybody to make movies without the need of having a 200 million budget.
So thank you to Blender.
So what stops you?
You inspire more people here. I see a lot of people, especially the iPad queue. I see people looking at the iPad and they're like, and there will be new users that are going to be using the iPad. So I think it would be worth spending because now more people are inspired to use Blender now.
Of course,
yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
But our goal never was to get more users. You know that? People don't understand that. Right? When Andrew Price talks to me, he's a marketing guy, right? He's really good at presenting and selling and stuff. And he said, Tom, don't you want to have more users? I said, nah. Why would I be interested in more users? I want better users. That's it. So I want to invest in our community to grow, right, to get better, but also to have the top artists in the world and people are really good, to get them into Blender. That is nice. Right?
So when you're saying better users, are you saying more skilled or people who are more successful with Blender?
All of it, right? So people, our own users should become successful. So we have to invest in our users to get access to the markets and to improve themselves and to make sure that they can make a living. That is them. And of course, it's cool to see people like Pixar or big studios start using Blender. And that's happening.
Yes.
If you see the content that we can show on the booth, the quality is stunning.
Yes.
And it's all made by people, small studios and individuals around the world. And they make a world-class quality content with Blender. And that's makes me very proud. So this is already happening. So we have much better users.
100%.
Each of them, they will have all the opportunities to get hired or to start their own business or take part in the economy.
Well, I can at least speak for ourselves here because when we first started our journey, it started because of what you and your team have done. The great job that you guys have done over the years, creating a software that is not just free, but also powerful enough to compete with all the other softwares out there. And as a result of the passion that you guys have clearly put into the product, the community has that same passion. I've yet to see a community like the Blender community where everyone's willing to give to each other for free. And I think that's because you guys started it that way. You guys said, we're not expecting anything from you guys right now. We want to just give to you. And I see that on YouTube. Everyone's just sharing knowledge, plugins, tools, which is why...
If you give a good example, people, I don't mind following. But it's also because we are very purposely and consciously staying away from all the obvious business things, right? So we did in the beginning some tutorials and with tutorial DVDs and something like that. But we stopped doing that when other people were successful. I like the Blender market is independent. And I think that's very important for Blender to have an independent market. We should not do user activities. Anything that is easy to make money with, we should stay away from.
Interesting.
That's a purpose strategy. So monetizing videos, we have monetizing disabled, right, on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Yes, we don't do that. We don't want it.
What's the reasoning behind
Already
that?
Since the beginning, we never do this. So that makes it more accessible and easier for you guys and others to have monetizing on, because then the algorithms pick your videos.
Oh my God, man.
That's good.
This is insane.
It works. But if we would do that, we would have such an unfair advantage.
Yeah, because you guys make the software.
Yes.
We have a million, whatever, 1.2 million subscribers on our YouTube, right? So if we would monetize that, we could get some money out of it.
Yes.
But that's not our business. That's your business. So we should enable people like you to do that kind of business by not doing it ourselves. So we don't do a market, we're not doing services or support or selling add-ons and all of those things we like the community to do. And by enabling that, things happen, right?
Yes.
Yes.
You hand over the economy to your community, not only in the education, but in the marketplace, in the teaching, in everything.
It's written in our mission statement to do this.
This is a very different mindset than anything I've ever heard before. Is this something you had the very first moment you started Blender?
No, not. Oh, you're talking about like 34 years ago, right?
Like in terms of the mission statement.
But this at first, you know the history of Blender, right?
To some extent, yes.
So I had an animation studio in Holland, very small, and we were making our own tools. And at some moment, I thought I'm going to redesign the whole thing, and let's see if we can make something that can do what we want it to do. Right? That was the Blender design. That started in 94, 95, we had the first version running, etc. At that time, there were 5 Blender users. So and in 98, because of the whole market for video graphics and animation, business animation in Holland, it all went to internet. Everybody went to the internet in the 90s, right? The bubble, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And so the business didn't grow, and I didn't like it to do it anymore, and I liked the software much better. So I put Blender online, and I thought, let's see what happens if you have a 3D tool, right? That runs everywhere, and on silicon graphics, high-end workstations, but also on Windows and Linux, and see what happens. But it was not open source. So the first years, Blender was freeware, and I tried to do a business with services around it. And then we got investor money, and people thought, wow, you have a community, or you are worth 10 million, right? And I was in an office, but it was by myself. And there was one half employee, unpaid.
Half employee unpaid.
It was, and then the business was worth 10 million. Like,
what? Wait.
So what the fuck? So you could get a lot of investor money. We had like 5 million, 6 million investor money over the period of 2 years. But the business didn't work out. The internet bubble busted. And I ended up with only having 10% of the shares left in the business. And then the investors pulled the plug. And they said, Tom, thank you for everything, or thank you not, because we lost so much money.
Oh my goodness.
We are going to put Blender is ours, right? We own everything, 90%.
Yes.
We are going to put Blender in a drawer, and we're going to lock it and throw away the key, and you should do something else.
What did you do?
And then that's a suspense right there.
Shocking, right? That's shocking. It was my life work.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
And also we already had a community and a lot of people who depended on it or liked it. So that's when the Blender Foundation initiative started. And that's when I made a plan and I published that online to say, look, dear investors, we want to buy the license or the rights of Blender back to make it open source. And I will do a funding campaign with the community, and I will get you guys 100,000 euros, which is $110,000, to pay for it. Right. It was not a lot of money, not compared to all the everything that they put in, but it was more than anything anyone would ever pay.
Yeah.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Because especially without me or without the developers who know Blender, it's worthless.
Yes.
And I would have all the credentials to continue this. Within 7 weeks, we had the money.
Okay. Also from the community.
And the investors, after some negotiations, they agreed on it. They said, okay, if you get us 100,000, we agree on making it options.
But that's so difficult because that time there was no social media like today where you can make an Instagram video and it can go viral and people can help. Like getting people's attention on this is challenging.
But in those days, you had also ways to go viral, right? But you had blogs.
Blogs, right? Yes.
Like /dot.
Yes.
/dot.
Who wrote the blogs? Did you write the blogs? The blog posts?
I have no idea, I forgot.
Oh.
But the press was writing about it.
Yeah.
Right.
And I did the campaign in the SIGGRAPH time, right?
Yes.
So at SIGGRAPH, we had a presentation, I did a bus of
Yeah.
we had t-shirts with free blender. Right?
So you did like this whole campaign of getting.
Yeah, it was really cool. So people were really aware of it. That's good. But this was, if you go to Wikipedia, this is mentioned as one of the first crowdfunders ever. And this inspired people like from Kickstarter
Right.
to say, wow, this is really a way to do it.
The concept works.
Because I also did perks.
Right.
The first time that we really said, well, you don't have to pay unless you reach the target. Right?
Wait, so technically you're the founder of Kickstarter.
You should take the credit.
That's insane.
But also, it is the first time that a community bought back the software,
Right.
and it never happened again.
Are you serious?
And it's still going on. The community still has the software.
Oh, yeah,
Hasn't
it's
It
getting
never
bigger.
happened again. But many times I hear from other communities, like Autodesk bought Softimized,
Right.
and they also discontinued,
Right.
put it in a drawer, blocked it, throw it.
This happens a lot of
And then
times.
they,
Yeah.
they could have open sourced it, but then the community of users around Softimized, they tried to get Autodesk to agree on making it open source.
But it didn't work.
They now try it with Modo.
Right.
Modo is also discontinued, and they try to get the Foundry to agree on this. And I think I don't know why it doesn't. I don't know the details, right? But it's very difficult to copy that. Mostly because the founder is not behind it, right?
Yes.
Because if the founder of Modo would be kicked out of the Foundry,
Yes.
and then he would say, "I will do it," right? You have more to say.
Yes.
Right.
But the other thing, you're not software developers, right?
No.
But a lot of modern software is being developed by combining modules which you license from other companies.
Right.
This is how you can do quick development. But that means that if you have a commercial software and you license all the software from others, you don't own it.
Right. It's not yours.
There.
It's all bits and pieces from all the other
own
people.
the rights to sell it, but you don't sell it, you license it out again, right?
Yes.
So it is all licensing on top of licensing on top of licensing, but there is no ownership.
Yes.
So if they would open source the parts that they own, you don't have functional software. And that's really true for many things.
Right.
Like, for example, the file format FBX. I talked to Autodesk about making FBX open source.
And what was their
The
response?
problem is that they also don't own it.
Right.
Go and talk to someone else.
It's a complicated copyright situation.
Right.
Autodesk markets it, but it also has all kinds of components
I
and parts
see.
that they don't.
So they don't have the capability to make it open source, or at least it will be incredibly complex legally to make it happen.
And Blender is very weird because every component of Blender, except for the sound library, that's what I license, but all of the other things of Blender I wrote myself.
So you can make it as open source as you want.
I'm a very stubborn person. I don't like to copy code from others and stuff. I'm too stupid for that. I think, well, I'm coding everything myself.
Well,
So
I
that's
think
why we own all of Blender. So we could say, well, we make it open source. We only had to remove tiny little bits. There was some PlayStation code in Blender. If people from PlayStation watch this,
Just a tiny code.
we had Blender running on PlayStation 1.
seriously,
Oh,
Wow.
on PS1.
wow.
PlayStation 1, which is 500 kilobytes.
Bytes, yeah, kilobytes. I don't remember the last time I heard kilobytes.
Yeah,
It's-
it's like,
It's like an image.
this little microphone.
Yeah, but yeah, this is far more capable than that.
It was only the playback and the viewport and the game engine. Blender had a game engine in those days. And the whole game engine, what is in Blender, was running on PlayStation. But you could save a blend file with the game.
Take it
And
to
then load it on a
PlayStation.
PlayStation and you could play. And what you could play it on the workstation. And the same game experience you had at PlayStation.
Wow. Imagine just take my blend file into PlayStation and play the game that I
That's
wanted.
insane.
Wow.
And that's because it uses the API from Sony, it's not allowed to publish that. So we still have it on the shelf. It's just, come on, and after 25 years.
It should be fine now.
It
should be fine now.
Fun,
I hope someone from Sony is watching this and they're like, yeah, let's just do it. Let's just make it happen.
Let's make it open. Right?
Yeah, that would be so
It's the
cool.
one development. It would be so much fun to make
It would be incredibly fun, yes.
an open system.
So clearly so much has changed over the years. I mean, just hearing you talk about it, there's been so many changes with Blender, and it's incredible to see the growth of it, especially talking about the features. I mean, we've seen some of the incredible things that you guys are working on with 5.0, which is going to be released later, but also Blender on the iPad. There's so much changes in the community, as you mentioned. There's now better users, not just more, but better users.
Yeah, we got ILM, for example, contributing code to Blender. That's just one of the announcements.
That's huge. That's fucking
huge.
huge.
That's huge. Like
ILM
feature
assigned a
films,
developer to become part of our online team to work on Blender.
That's
And I
insane.
think that's the impact of community, because people want to use Blender, and a lot of people are learning Blender. Big studios are now have to take Blender in.
All the new generation, they're learning on YouTube. And where do they see, what do they see? It's all Blender tutorials, right? So naturally,
Yeah,
everyone's going.
it's just like as if it was a master plan.
Yes, yes. Hey, man. As if it was a master. Or was it? Come on. This is a burning question for both me and Farhad, and I'm sure everyone watching has this too. We can't really predict 5-10 years from now because AI is moving things too fast. But let's say it's the year 2027. It's not too far from now.
27, that's like almost next year.
Yeah, exactly. So not too far.
That's too close.
Okay, 2028, 2029. You can pick which one you want.
30.
230. Okay, all right,
Yes,
fine,
gotta
fine.
be
big.
Make it more challenging.
Looks like we're flying cars, we are on Mars, right? Everything. Yeah.
So, okay, 230. You guys and your team have overcome all of the challenges. You achieved everything on the roadmap. Okay,
No, it's impossible.
let's just say.
Okay, imagine.
Let's just say you
Imagine.
achieved most of the things.
Or let's say that you achieved everything that we want today.
Yes, that you want today.
Okay.
What is Blender capable of, and how are people using it in 2030?
So what we have on our roadmap, what we want to
Mm-hmm.
work on, there's a couple of topics. And that's, we have a good talk at the Blender conference about this.
Which we
thing.
are going to be there.
But every year, we're going to be there.
Yes,
right?
of course.
Yeah.
Every year we have a number of targets that we want to work on. And one of them is to have a serious effort in having, of course, a node-based physics editing with a real-time viewport so that you turn your viewport to a continuous playback because then you can say, light a fire, right? The particle system, add some smoke, add
No
some
waiting.
later, blow stuff, right? And put a character in it with cloth and let the character do this and then the smoke starts moving, right? So this is a way how I would like to envision creation, which is that you have a real-time environment where everything can run with physics properties, physical, and create content based on this. And if you don't have to bake all the time, but only when you are happy with everything, then it's like as if you do a film, right? You have a camera and you say, okay, action. Right? And then you get the character walk in, do stuff, blow out the fire, walk away, whatever, and then you stop. And all of that is then baked, and that is what you can send to a render farm, or you can send it render it overnight, or whatever you want to do with it. But the basic creation should be in a real-time environment. That always has been the vision of Blender since the beginning, right? That's why we had a PlayStation creation thing. And that is what we are working on currently. And that I really would like to see finished in the coming years. Have this, including, of course, some interaction editing and logic, and that you can say characters with state engines, the character can walk in, stand still, says hi, gets your gun, right? Or whatever you do. And all of that then can be shared, right? That's it, Blender. And then you save it in a blend file. You put it online and somebody clicks on it and it will load your Blender playing something. Whether it's an architectural walkthrough or an experience or something fun or whatever it is. And this is something we really want to give to our users, again, also to give them access to the markets. Because Blender also has this concept called application template.
Mhm.
So you have template files for the default, and then it starts up with a specific configuration. And the whole UI is configurable in Blender.
Mhm.
And you can configure it even more radical that you don't even have a UI at all. Nothing, except for the content that you created, right?
Mhm.
So you have a little crazy experience that you walk around in an environment or solve a puzzle, and you can save it in a blend file that will open the experience without UI.
So just like an immersive
So you only
experience.
get the experience, right? So you click on it, and it will start Blender, and it sees, oh, this is an application template file. I'm not going to do any UI except for what the blend file tells me to do.
Sort of like an executable file, right? Where you
Yeah,
open
you
up and then the game
like-
experience begins.
And it can be a game, it can be a film, it can be a real estate walkthrough.
Like immersive museum experience.
So Blender will become some kind of Java executable. So I think Blender, you still have to install Blender.
Yes.
Right?
Which is
But
fine.
once you have Blender installed and all of the blend files know, okay, I can right click, include in the right version. Or so. If you don't have the right version, then Blender application template will say, sorry, I cannot run this. We have to install Blender first.
Just update, yeah.
And you update it and say, yes, please install. And Blender is relatively small, so it will come in fast.
It'll be fast. Yeah.
Is that why that you guys have now the Blender app on iPad?
The Blender app. But that is the Blender app concept, we call that, because people then can make applications with Blender. And you can make a 3D manual with Blender. You can make a product presentation with Blender. That's the say, here's my can, and I can click on it.
And
it will rotate or open.
You got a little word zip, but everything is in it, right? Blender is there, so that's all the UI is there. But you can say, well, I only allow to import a model and then change the color or something. Or a 3D printing company can have tools for testing the geometry, finding leaks or something, or if everything is working, and make an app that allows, etc., etc. So this is enabling users then again to get a business, to get access to markets.
Yes.
From our conversation, I realized you pay a lot of attention to your users to be able to be in the economy, make money using Blender, and even find opportunity. Is that also part of the vision that you guys have with Blender?
No.
Making the use cases for them to make sure they can go to now real estate, museum, commercials, film and animation?
I've been, our mission statement is, I think it's online, we can find it somewhere, but we have the three key aspects. And the first one is the open source, free software aspect.
Yes.
You should be able to use software freely without any strings attached, without license problems, except
No
for,
worries, just use it.
Blender has to stay free, that's all. But you have to agree on that Blender is not allowed to be locked up.
Right.
You cannot put Blender in a prison, you cannot, right? Blender is free. If you accept that, you can do anything. That's the freedom of the free software movement. You should be able to use production software the way you want it. But what people often forget is that you need a second thing, and that is assets and information and data. Because if you have Blender and you want to make a film, how do you do that, right? You have to start with everything.
Yes.
You don't have textures, you don't have characters, you
Models.
don't have you don't have you need libraries. You need a lot of things to get started with things. Most studios, if you come in, they call that their own IP, which is all the assets and pipeline information,
Everything they've created.
and scripts and render farms and this whole thing. This is what they own to make productions. And for them, that is worth even more than the software, right? Maya and all the other tools, they are one thing, but they own the pipeline.
Yes.
So we are working on publishing pipelines and information about how to be productive. That's the Blender Studio initiative, to make sure that we have assets and things and characters and all the information that you need to become a productive person, right?
Wow.
That's the second thing. That's why we have a studio. And then the third thing is the part of what we want to enable people to take part in the economy. Because, for example, if you talk to people in Hollywood, they, of course, it's like, oh, wow, I can work for Disney or Pixar or DreamWorks, all those other studios. It's awesome. But it is not always that way, right?
Yes.
There's also a downside of working in Hollywood
Of course.
because you are a little cog in the
In a
machinery.
huge machine.
And the interest of the business is so big that they spend hundreds of millions.
Mhm.
So you get all the executives and the people, the producers, telling you what to do, and you don't own anything.
Mhm.
It's not yours, right?
Yeah.
It's just their stuff.
Yes.
And you don't even know if your stuff will even end up in the
Yeah. You might work
You have
on
to
it for a
wait
year
for it.
and a half
Yeah.
and
You have to
never
wait a
see the
long
light
time.
of day.
And you cannot talk about it,
Yeah.
right? So there is a downside of all of this. So when I talk to people who work in studios, I say, well, why don't you quit? Right?
Mm.
Because you're a blender, right? And you have we have a lot of pipeline tools for you and assets and textures and all of the data to get started with characters and filmmaking. So what stops you? That's the third thing. Because how do you get access to the market? How do you make money as a filmmaker in this days? But it's difficult.
Yes.
The game world is better organized. If you are an independent game creator, you can go to Steam or other many platforms where you can make things. It's difficult too, because the big publishers get all the attention. But the gaming world is more open. But for content and film, it's still a big problem. And for individual 3D artists, it's also difficult. Because you always have to wait for a company to give you an assignment, and then you can say, yes, I'm going to do it and get some money for it. So by doing this thing, what I said with the real-time environments and allowing people to make content with Blender that they can actually monetize with, that they make a whole product and people can buy it, that is a good vision.
100%.
I don't say we can change the film industry because I still don't know how to solve that problem.
Yeah. Yes.
It's
a big one.
It's part of our mission. We want to find out how to solve that. And first, we want to solve it by enabling everybody to make movies without the need of having a 200 million budget.
Yes.
That's like Flow. Right?
Yes, Flow is a phenomenal example of that.
But I always challenge our developers to say, look at ways that we can make people 10 times more productive.
Wow.
We really have to increase our productivity with very faster animation, faster rigging, modeling.
Yes.
Because it's about you as a storyteller, you as a creative person, and your creativity should be there, right?
Yes.
And it should not be too tedious that you have to, sometimes making 3D can be very tedious.
Yes.
You know that, right?
Yeah, I mean, it takes
hours and hours and days on tiny little details. So we have to work on making that faster.
Yes, and what you're saying is definitely happening. I mean, we see it in the community. We see it every single day. The entire pipeline, not only is it being more democratized, so more people have access to it, it's less gate-kept, thanks to people like yourself, your team, people who make tutorials and content online. But I also feel like AI is a very interesting topic to take into account here. Now, one of the funniest thing for us is this SIGGRAPH. In front of the Blender booth, you're seeing the AI companies as well with their AI generation tools. And it's so funny as an artist coming and see a tool like Blender, you got Max on there, you got all of these guys, and then now you got these small booths with the AI companies coming around. That's something I want to talk about later, but I want to talk about your own opinion, because when you talk about making it easier for artists to now be able to compete with the big studios, make a movie with a small team like Flow, how do you think AI will come into the picture to help with that?
That will be totally a part of it. You know that. But we were waiting for AI to develop further in a way that it can be used without the need of going to a data center with 20,000 NVIDIA cards run by a billionaire company who is going to steal as much as possible. To start
no, but they don't. They don't steal. They don't steal. They don't.
They inspire or whatever, but it's stealing. It's copying. Right?
Copying.
Yes. Even we don't do that. In the open source world, we really like openness, but we also respect copyright. Yes. Without this respect for artistic creations, you cannot work with people.
Right.
So we have to find out the moment that AI tools, machine learning, because it's not really AI.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's generative
Pattern
AI,
recognition.
It's pattern recognition.
Yes.
It's just technology that helps you do things. And this is all already happening. So today there's a talk at 2 o'clock. You should go there. It's in the SIGGRAPH. You have a full conference?
Yeah, of course.
But you have to be at the booth, maybe? Or not?
No.
We can walk around.
We can do it.
We're free.
You are free, like Blender. You are
Yeah,
free
it's
like
free.
Blender. You are
Awesome.
free like Blender.
Anyway, but there's a Stanford PhD student.
Okay.
He is presenting an AI tool with Blender. He's only using Blender. That is inside of the geometry nodes.
Okay.
And it's all local. There's no data center, nothing else. It's just in Blender, and it sees what you do, all the Python commands, every edit that you do, and then it starts learning from you what you are doing to redo it. And then the system is making its own notaries to do things.
So
Then
it's training
after a
it based
while,
on
you can
you.
start talking to it, and it will help you doing things faster or more efficient or in different ways.
You know how powerful is that? Imagine you're spending hours every day in Blender. After a few months, you can just ask that to do the same. And how many times?
So for repetitive tasks,
Yes.
you're just doing a tile texture or something, and then you do it a little bit, and then this little paperclip will show up and say, "Oh, I can finish it."
I've seen you do this before. I know how to finish it up.
How many times you repeat the same thing in different projects?
I don't know exactly how it is going to work, but
Yes.
it's
But
really
it's-
new.
yes.
But that's the trend. Right?
Yes.
So in one way, people will say, "Yeah, but this is still primitive and it's not really good enough, right?" Because if you go to OpenAI, it will be 10 times better.
And not good enough
But
yet.
hello. That OpenAI is like, what is it, $100 billion?
How much money they're spending every day?
They are losing 700,000 a day. One day they lose 700,000.
Losing even.
Yeah, losing.
So there's lots of investor money in.
Exactly.
And they hope, but one day it all will come back. And then the other movement of AI researchers is the opposite. So they try to make sure that we, the people, the individuals, the small companies, that we also have access to a similar technology to help us, but it will be private and local. It will be yours. Just like that if you create a piece of art, you feel like
You own it.
This is
Yes.
my art, right?
Yes.
I can do with it, I can share it, I can keep it, I can put it in the bathroom, I can destroy it. But it's your stuff. And your workflow is your stuff and not owned by
somebody else.
and that motion of that movement is important. And that is what we are going to embrace in Blender. You also saw, I was at Kronos yesterday, there was a Kronos event.
Yeah.
And Kronos is also starting an open ML, open machine learning initiative. And it's basically based on similar principles. To take this whole abstract, hidden black box cloud system that you have with AI. You only, it's a big black curtain and you can look like...
You get like a tiny hole.
Happening, but all the magic that happens behind the screens, you have no idea. And they want to take it out of that and put it on the table and make it open and accessible for people. So say, okay, I can also do it, but they're smaller, accessible, and in your control.
That's amazing.
And then you get interesting things, right? So we are talking, so this Blender is very popular in the AI research world. And everybody is looking at that. You can see, if you go around the SIGGRAPH, the booths, there are small AI companies. Several of them are presenting Blender things, right?
Yes, I've seen that.
So Blender is for them a way to get access to the markets again, to people. Because we have this big community. If you post something fun with Blender, you immediately get like 10,000 people being interested in it.
Yes.
So this is much more interesting than posting something for Maya. Then you might get 10 persons.
So you guys have AI pipeline workflows also in your roadmap to develop for Blender to help the artist?
We only have in the plan, but there's nothing tangible because we are waiting for the thing that we can actually do something about. Because we're also a tiny group, right?
Yes.
So I'm very proud that we, in total, all the people that are involved with Blender, with the studio and the foundation and the institute, but we have 60 people on the contract. all paid for with donations
Yes.
and the subscriptions that we have, which is fantastic.
Yes.
But it is, of course, laughable, tiny, right? It's like nothing if you look at all the competitions. That
Yes.
right? So I was talking to electronic arts one day. I said, "Hi, how are you guys doing? How big is your company here in Vancouver? They have 20,000 people.
20,000?
There's an EA park here. There's a big studio where they do FIFA on their own mocap. It's huge. And
So there are some scale differences. And Meta has probably 100,000 employees.
Yes.
And they are doing AI research. We are not going to beat that. That's impossible. We have to wait for this movement to
settle down a little bit. Yes.
The hype will come down and things will settle a little bit. And then we can see in a better ways how to do it. But the direction that we want to go is clear, right? So we want to find out to work with AI research that is local and private and personal and really an artistic art control and not fake, as in what Autodesk and other people and Adobe and others are selling. They say, no, we're really not stealing. We're really not doing it. We promise. Do you trust Adobe? Do you trust Autodesk? Right?
The thing is, I cannot imagine how powerful the models can be without training on all of the people's work. Like, how can it be so powerful?
OpenAI CTO when talking, I said, "Did you guys scrap the whole YouTube show?"
Yes, they're like,
I don't know if we did it. You're the CTO.
How can you not answer that question?
They have to.
They have to.
Another person I talked to had an interesting vision on AI. We said that the AI move, if you look at it from a technical point of view, it is degrading the quality because for AI it's very different and learning systems is very hard if you do this at this massive stealing way that they are doing. AI content is being used to train
AI content.
and they don't know, right?
Yes.
So then you get all the shit stuff that people are making.
Yes.
But because it looks a bit kitsch, right?
Yes.
If you look at AI art, it's always like really weird, right?
Yes.
It has some weird quality.
Yes.
You can recognize it.
You can. Today, yeah.
And because of the input of training data is extremely important. You need super high quality training data to get something of quality out. Because it's always averaged, right? It's always all average. AI is very good in average. It doesn't do Excel. But if your average input of your AI system, if that quality goes down, the output will go down. It will get worse and worse and worse. So that they think there will be some kind of collapse at some moment, that the further they go, more stupid and ugly and bad.
That would be insane if that actually happens. It'll be insane.
I heard some people believe that this will happen.
I've heard the theories. Yes.
By the way, but ChatGPT 5 had something already like that.
Right.
a lot of people complain about
Everybody was
GPT-5.
complaining about 5 was 4.
4 was better.
And then they had the next generation, and it wasn't as good anymore.
Yeah, people had like AI boyfriends and girlfriends with ChatGPT 4, and they were
were
unhappy with the performance.
I want my girlfriend
Yeah,
back.
of 5 because they just deprecated all the old models. So that was
That was one thing too.
Yes.
But they also didn't like the quality. There was something with the quality that it wasn't as good anymore, right? So keep that in mind, right?
Yes.
AI is good in average, not in excellence. So we as makers and as humans, right, we should look at excellence. And we should put more value in, for example, artisans or people who know how to make things. And whether that is wood carpenting or designing houses or making gardens look awesome or making shoes and clothing, doing haircuts, right? If you want to go to get a haircut, do you want a robot AI to start?
No, I want the best hairstylist to go. Yeah.
no, definitely not now.
Right?
Mistake, everything is gone.
Yeah.
So for all of these kind of jobs, what people used to look down at a little bit, plumbers, carpenters, people.
Now
I
you pay
think
more attention to those.
They will be getting more value.
Yes.
Because AI will replace a lot of bullshit jobs.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, dear lawyers, right? Accountants, tax advisors, all of those, consultants.
Yeah. There will be a shift. Definitely, there
I'm
will be
sorry,
a shift.
I'm okay if AI takes over yours.
Yeah, the thing is, because those are things that we're seeing and noticing with ChatGPT right now, today. Like GPT is already giving consultation to everyone.
Yes.
And I would trust GPT to read the Dutch law
Right.
and all the tax regulation
Yeah.
and stuff. Then I can just ask GPT, hey, is this how they look at my tax thing?
Yes.
Is that okay? And then maybe I will trust you for 95%, and then you only have to check it with an expert, the tax person, to say, yes, I think this is a good advice, and I'm done. But it will be way more efficient.
Yeah, way more affordable as well, because the
Otherwise,
cost would be really
in those
high.
tax offices, we have a tax consultant and an accountant, and most of the time, those poor people are busy reading all the laws and the rules and the things, and they have to put it in their brains.
Not anymore.
It's a waste of time.
Yes.
A computer can do a better job.
Yes.
That's okay. Including for medicine, right? Reading photographs and scans of your body, detecting patterns to see if you have bad cells or good cells and that kind of things. So all of those things, that's what AI is going to help us with.
Yeah, that's very true.
But for the actual craft of being what we are as humans,
artist.
making things, right?
Creating.
To be makers, I think that's where we can keep.
My hope and my dream is that these tools, all of them at the end of the day, just make us 10 times more powerful as artists. Allow us to bring any vision that we have into life faster in a more affordable way. That's the dream I have. That's a utopia that I see.
But it will also be different.
Of course.
When they invented photography, right? What do you think? What people thought? Oh my God, this will be the end of art.
Yes.
Right? There will be no painting needed anymore.
And this is
Now we can
fake art. And that's
then
fake
everybody
art.
can make photos.
Yes.
And you had that too with when you had phones with cameras, right? And then people say, this is the end of filmmaking. Now everybody can make movies. Yes, it will be easier to make content.
Yes.
But most people will still make really shitty, crappy content, right?
Yes.
And to make something good, you still need to practice and test.
That's the exact same thing with people who make mid-journey art.
The level will just be increased.
Yes.
So you can make better content.
Yes.
That's it.
Thank you. Even that's the same thing with Midjourney. Like when Midjourney came out, everyone was like, "Oh my God, nobody else can make photo art anymore." And then everyone tried to prompt. You just get a bunch of garbage that mean nothing on the internet. As you mentioned, you just have to find better and better ways to level up.
And excellence. If you have a great idea and if you're great at your craft, then you can make something that connects with people. And I want to take it to the team that you guys have with a very small team and also running on donation. How do you guys prioritize features? You have so much in your roadmap. How do you know, how do I prioritize?
It's a difficult process. So how do we prioritize? So one thing is, we always keep in mind that there is a community, right? And there is blender.org, and there are like 10,000 people doing things, having bug fixing, reporting, testing, and all the other things. And we have modules there, the components of Blender, and maintaining Blender and keep blending work is the public responsibility of everyone there. And we support that. And we will then have to detect areas where we think, well, this specific part of Blender is getting stuck. And that there's not enough developers, or it is too shitty, or too complicated, or for whatever reasons, there is not enough movement here, so we should start investing in it. And that is the priority then for the Blender organization. But it doesn't mean that other things do not happen. Because a lot of things in Blender, innovations, they happen outside of our control. They get contributed by the community. As, for example, the whole reshaped revolution. This is all done by the community. Did you see the demo? Was it from the Daniel Lara, with the Spanish community, with that you can draw a grease pencil character, like a duck.
I haven't seen that one.
And then this with Geometry Nodes a 3D model. Character animators who can do 2D drawing, they can make animation, right?
Yes.
And then they draw like 20 pictures.
Yes.
And then you play it back and it looks amazing.
Yes.
Right? And then with geometry nodes and grease pencil, you can make it 3D. So he was drawing characters, a duck, a cowboy, whatever it is. And then the geometry nodes interpret the lines and make it into a 3D model. And then you got like a 3D animated character that looks like as if it's a 2D drawn thing.
That's
with all
insane.
the extreme stuff. And there's zero AI involved in here because it's just standard geometry nodes.
Just with the nodes, yeah.
Geometry, with the node stuff. And that kind of tools is what happens at that kind of innovation. This is what we get
from the community level.
But also things like Gaussian splatting.
Okay.
Yes.
We saw it on the iPad yesterday.
Yeah.
And we had a demo.
Was it the fighting demo or
popping up out of nothing and somebody...
and it's on the iPad, it was playing back on the iPad. It was crazy.
Really, really good. Very impressed by it.
Yeah.
So those kind of things are happening. And but that's good. Right?
Yes.
Because that makes open source powerful.
Yes.
That there is not like a weird CEO like me with a brilliant vision and everything. Where I say, oh my God, you are so awesome, Tom. That it happens. We have the community.
Yes.
Right? The best part of Blender is the community. The people who contribute to Blender at Blender.org. That's our strength. Absolutely. They come in with the innovations and the ideas. And that's this whole dynamic, what happens there. So we define the roadmap based on what is needed there, what are the gaps that we have to fill, and what are the people who need extra support or so for things. Plus, a lot of things that have to do with the Blender core, and really deep inside of Blender, like the undo system, file saving, the Python API. I mean, if you break file saving in Blender, or undo,
everybody will.
Yeah, that's not good.
So Blender's architecture is still very, the software architecture is very. We reuse a lot of software.
Yes.
I mentioned it before, the module thing.
Yes, of course,
people, software engineers, they love to use their own black boxes and then connect it. And then they own the little black box and they know what's inside. Nobody else knows.
It's their own thing,
Want in it, and then but the problem is that you get everything duplicated.
Oh,
So, you have how to manipulate strings, so how to open the internet, how to save files, how to do this, how to do that. So everybody in their module has everything copied. That's why commercial software is so big, because they use these common engineering practices of little black boxes with an API that talks to other black boxes. Which is a way of development. But in Blender, from begin, I refused that, right? So in Blender, we only have one part where we do string manipulations, right? Text, and I do something with it. And everybody's using it.
Okay, universal.
The disadvantage is that if one person accidentally breaks that, all of Blender. And in the module approach, if you have make a little mistake, then only your thing is broken.
Okay.
Right.
So there is an advantage of this, right?
Yes.
But the positive part is that if then somebody fixes something in Blender, right?
Everybody gets that
Everybody
fixed.
will
It's
get
working
it.
again,
Yes.
right? So, and I like it to keep Blender small. And but to maintain those core libraries, right, that everybody's using, that is also something we do. And we have our roadmap for that, and we have to keep that stable and working. But, you don't want to have everybody poking in it too much.
Of course not. Yes.
That's, of course, I have a vision, right? And you heard it before. We have to look at AI. We have our mission statement. So we have to prioritize some things also based on that. Like when people come in with projects, that we say, okay, you're fun, it's cool if you do that, but what is the user benefit of it? Why most developers always like to refactor. They say that refactoring. You know the word refactoring?
Yeah, refactoring the code, right? So rewrite.
Rewrite everything.
Yes.
And that's awesome, right? And because I don't understand this code, when I rewrite it, I will understand it. And then I always say, okay, but what is the benefit?
Yes.
What do we benefit from this? Nothing. Then don't do it, right? There's no reason for it. You should have a benefit. Make sure that things are helping our mission, right?
Which is just
That's why our
for the
mission statement
community.
is clear. We have those 3 things. If it helps Blender forward, that people will be able to work faster, make better content, or have a complete Gaussian splatting. It's like awesome technology. If you can get that in Blender and make it very useful, that is fitting with our strategy. Those things are accepted. Right? They are good. But there are other things, I don't know what. I can't think of something that would be useless.
But there's a lot of.
I'm sure there is.
We often get things and people submitting ideas that I really think myself.
Useless.
I don't know if that is useful, right? Let's not do that. It's no. I don't have an example of that, but that defines our roadmap. It has to be very practical. It has to align with the mission. But most of it within the Blender organization is supporting the community.
Yes.
Because people depend on Blender now. Blender is getting really big.
Bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
And the bigger Blender back, the slower things go, the more people there are. Right? So we have all the growth problems of any company that grows.
But with a small lean team to support that massive growth. You're having the growth of the EA-like companies, like 20,000 members, but
very happy that we are not there. No, I would never want that.
they're 20,000 people. You won't even remember the names. It's like, it's impossible.
We should split up or so if we got bigger. If we got more than 100 people, we should split things.
To another Blender? Like,
I don't know. But you can split off the lab, for example.
right.
Or the studio is already a separate entity to do things. But the innovation area, there can be a separate group.
Right.
Which part is most exciting for you? Is it the innovation, the community management, the features? Which part do you like to spend the most time on?
Currently or in the future?
Currently.
Currently, I'm working mostly on the organization. But that is because my personal mission, my own target is to make myself obsolete. I already announced that in my keynote at the Blender Conference in 2019.
How is that going?
It's not bad. I'm quite happy with it.
Okay.
So that's it's because I don't want to become a bottleneck for Blender. Right?
Why would you be a
Accidentally,
bottleneck?
I got sick right in 2020,
Yes.
and I'm fine. Everything is good. I'm fully
Very happy to hear that.
But that was also a extra wake up call. I like okay, it could have ended bad, right? It was 1 week where I was like flipping. There was a good chance that I wouldn't survive. That's the first. I was a disease that evolves within 2 weeks, and either you die or you survive. Right?
Oh shit.
2 weeks, you can't even make any decisions in 2 weeks. You can't make any decisions in 2 weeks. It's so fast.
But we are so happy.
I already gave all my passwords to
So wait, who's that person? Who has that password? We need to go find somebody. Instagram, maybe.
Make a copy of my finger.
But we are so happy that you're coming.
Crazy period. But that was quickly. After 1 week, it was clear that I would be in the group of people who are sensitive for the therapy, right? So I have therapy, and it works for 80% of the people.
Thank God.
And I was part of that.
So when you say you want to make yourself obsolete, you want to make Blender independent of you, so not dependent on you.
Because I don't want to be a bottleneck. Because otherwise I'm doing everything, right? I was doing everything. I do all the HR, the business development, leading the developer team, the movies. We have so many things to do. And if you want to grow, if you want to make Blender better and bigger, you should let things go. Right? You have to get other people to decide on architecture, and roadmaps.
And sometimes that's very difficult for founders.
So letting things go is very hard.
Yes.
It's very hard.
But you're doing it already.
But it's a long process, right?
Yeah.
I've already working on it for 6 years. So it's getting very, very good. I have a good management team of 4 people who take care of a lot of things. And for example, Francesco doing all the business development and the industry relations. And he's running around here, having all the meetings with everybody, I don't have to do that. Awesome, so awesome. I hate meetings.
Right.
I don't like. I don't like meetings. I'm anti-meeting.
Anti-meeting.
So partly because I have a hearing disability, right?
Yes.
I have to read lips. So
Okay.
I can do discussions with 2 or 3 people, right? It's fine. And it's
Because then it's very tiring, right? You have to look at everyone's.
it takes me a lot of energy to do
Right.
that. And meetings, especially when it's with 8 people, I cannot function very well.
Mhm.
It doesn't work for me.
Mhm.
So I don't do meetings. Stupid.
But
I know,
even inside Blender itself, within Blender, the team that you have,
Yeah.
you try not to do as many meetings.
But I always did no meetings. But the new team, they do more meetings.
They do it on their own, so you don't need to ask you to come in. They give a summary to you.
I don't want to do
And that's
those
it.
meetings. I don't want meetings. Anyway, but so I'm working on this already for a long time,
Yes.
so that I can move to a supervisory position to only look at the big picture.
A consultation position.
Which is going to be takeover. You don't want to be the consultant.
Oh yeah, maybe ChatGPT can take my. It's very easy. Just ask ChatGPT. I did it, by the way. I asked, hey, give me a roadmap for Blender for the next 5 years.
How was it?
It was very good.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
But actually, it just copies all the stuff from our website. So it knows the things, but that was stuff that I've been writing myself,
Yes.
reworded in a nice way.
And fed right back to you,
Yeah.
which sounds great.
It knows all the things that we say and
Yes.
it gives back to you in a nice summary.
Yes.
That was good. I said, okay, yeah. And it even had a really good, the final advice was, stay true to your principles.
The mission.
That's what the ChatGPT said.
And that's what
that
I've
nice?
gotten from speaking with you. That's definitely your character.
Yeah. So, and that will be, that's my position, to make sure that we stay true to ourselves, right? That what we are doing. And that is, the funding is okay, we are financially sound. That is something I can keep supervising.
Absolutely.
Then, of course, I want to have a break of time. I'm getting old, right?
Honestly speaking, if you're talking about energy, your energy is...
Actually, you are the only founder that I saw that you're in SIGGRAPH every single day talking to every single person. I was telling Faraz the other day, it's astonishing to see. And I see you walking around.
running around more than everybody else.
I have stumbled upon you, I think, at least 6 times in the last 3 days. And I saw you every time talking to people. People come and take photo with you. People come and ask you. You answer questions. You are within the community. I mean, you are the founder of Blender, but you are part of them.
Yeah, but that's my job.
Well, you say that, but that's not what other
No.
founders do.
I don't say that I'm out of energy, right? But it is exhausting. Right?
Of course. Yeah.
So it's good also running the Blender project. It's it's a lot. There's a lot going on.
Yes.
Of course.
And from deep side in my heart, I'm a maker. And I would like to spend my energy also on understanding really again, how does this AI thing work? How does it really work? I don't know really how it works. How is machine learning? So you should spend weeks, it takes weeks of time, right?
Yes.
To focus, play with it, and then get in it, and then try it, and try something else, and then you get, I get it. So this is how it works. And I want to be back in a position that I have time for those kind of things.
I love that.
But I think the community still loves to see you.
Yeah.
I've seen people come up to you, and I'm sure because people love to see you at the booth, people come and love to talk to you. And so I think when you want to take the break, don't take it during the conferences.
No.
Because people want to see you still here.
I don't want to stop going to events like SIGGRAPH or the conferences.
Of course.
Those are energizing, they're fun, and they're amazing. I want to stop talking to accountants.
Okay.
Yes.
Right?
Fair enough.
That's,
Focus on the things that you prefer to do more. That makes sense.
I want to understand the technology again.
100%.
I want to know what is this really. Otherwise, you lose it, right? And
Yes.
what's going on here? And if you don't, but this is why Blender exists. But I was never happy using software. As a 3D artist, I was a designer, and from my background, I want to understand how it works. Why does it work that way? What is it? What is behind it, right? And that keeps me going.
That's your passion now. That's the question in your head.
It's always my passion.
I love that.
I want to know how it works. But it's also for filmmaking, or for music, or for
games.
games.
Anything.
How does it work? How do you make a good game? why is a game working and why do other games not work?
Mhm.
I'm fascinated by that.
It's fascinating that you go across industries because film and animation is here, game is here, real estate for architecture visualization is here. Is there any other industries that you're looking at?
Blender is used in by the space, but they use Blender to make satellites.
Aerospace industry. That's something that I didn't know.
I had no
Go
idea.
to the Blender conference in Austin. So there's a Blender conference in Austin.
Right.
April, right? Go there. You will meet people from the space industry.
Wow. What industries are there that are using Blender that is astonishing to you?
Designers, fashion, dentists, people making simulations for people to do operations on people.
Right.
Virtual bodies. I mean, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
It is. That's something I've seen.
That's growing.
Yeah.
And sorry, but the film industry is tiny, right? If you look at the engineering, design, right, manufacturing, it's 20 times
massive.
bigger.
Yeah.
Massive.
Massive. Yes.
So that's why companies like Autodesk, for example, they don't spend a lot of time anymore on the media entertainment part because their money is not there, right? It's very visible and it's sexy and it's cool to make it Hollywood, but they make money with manufacturing.
Manufacturing, yeah.
I mean, you know how many big movies we make in Holland every year? Maybe 10 or so.
Yeah.
Right, that's it. You know how many buildings we make every year in the Netherlands?
Yes.
Right?
It's not
Big
exclusive
buildings.
to the US anymore, right?
Thousands,
Yeah.
right? And all of those architects, they have people designing things, and they all use software to make buildings. So I'm only talking about the buildings.
Right.
The software market for architects is a magnitude bigger than for media.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah, but you
They are going to look at Blender now. Right?
Yes.
They are already looking at because all of their new employees who come in
They know Blender.
are using Blender.
I heard it from people from Ford. They told me, hey Tom, we have a problem because all our new car designers, they come in and they say, we don't want to use Alias or whatever.
Yeah.
We want to use Blender.
Yes.
And we can show you we can work much faster and it will give you the
Same results. Yeah, same results or better. Yeah.
That's the master plan.
What? And they say, help. Because how does it work? It's free software. We don't have to pay. We can't buy anything. Explain how this can be working because they want support, services.
Do they know you're 60 people? If you want to support all of these companies in the world.
But they are used to work with vendors.
Yes, of course.
But the film industry too. But the film industry is also very slow in adapting to Blender because they have a vendor relationship
Yes.
with it. And they always say, Tom, why don't you listen to us, to the film industry? Because if you do what we want, then we would all use Blender.
Yeah.
And I said, but that's not how open source works.
Yeah.
Open source, you cannot say to an open source project, hey,
Come do what we want.
come do what we want,
Yeah.
and then I will use it. Because open source people, who cares, right? If you don't want to use Blender, that's fine, it's your problem. But if you want to use Blender, then please come on board with Blender, come with us.
Yeah.
And then you can help fixing all the things that you need, and you are a happy user,
Yes.
and we are happy.
And everyone else gets to benefit
That's
from
the
your
way.
contribution.
That's how open source works. So it's not a vendor relationship. This is a different approach.
An open relationship.
This is a fair, an equal partnership.
Yes.
And that's thing the industry starts understanding, right?
Yes.
So that's why we are so happy to have Industrial Light and Magic announcing that they have an engineer working on Blender. That's what we need. Pixar, Disney, all the studios, but also from the car industry or the games industry. There's so many software developers in the world. They should feel welcome to contribute there and to take ownership of little things that they need. For example, car people, they want to have NURBS modeling.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
And then you cannot tell me or us, like, can you please fix the NURBS modeler for us? Even when you give us money, because we have no idea. We don't know how to use it, how they use it, or all the tips and the tricks and the paradigms and the mental models, whatever behind NURBS modeling. They know.
Yes.
They should do it. Hire a developer or take one of your developers who know how NURBS should work and put it in Blender.
we provide the platform, you come and add on the value to it, and everyone benefits. And the thing is, you're just talking about nerves, that's one. All the different industries have different needs. If you were to cater to every single one of them, you need that 2,500 people. It's not gonna work. But this model is so much better when I hear you talk about it.
But it also is an opportunity again for the community to provide some services, because some companies, they do need help, right?
Right.
They have their own private data, and they don't want to put that on the Blender website.
Yes.
So it would be nice if somebody would help them creating a good example file with a bug report and analyzing it and then putting that in public. But this is already happening, right?
Yes.
But Canonical, that's the makers from Ubuntu, they have an official Blender support system.
They do.
For corporates.
Interesting.
Enterprise support Blender.
So they do it on
And not for using the tutorial and stuff, for the software.
Right.
So if you are, they have big clients, IKEA, Volkswagen.
Right.
And if they have an issue internally, then an engineer from Canonical will look at it and help them creating the situation, maybe solving it if it's easy. And if not, then that engineer will use the information with all the NDA and whatever there is to make a public case and go to the Blender website, report it, and wait for help getting the fix done. And
then help. That's actually interesting as well. That's really cool. The fact that we see the success after having this conversation, I believe is because you guys managed to stay true to that principle. What GPT said is so true, because seeing that even if the big companies with the big money come to you guys and offer you whatever amount to help them instead of the public, and you guys said no, you guys said we care about being open source, we care about the community as a whole, and being very true to that principle is the reason why you guys have found great success. So we appreciate it.
In other interviews, you can hear me saying to Hollywood, for example, so I don't want Blender to be in Hollywood. I want Hollywood to be in Blender.
Oh, yes.
That's the thing. And that's not a negative statement.
No.
People say, he's anti-Hollywood, he doesn't like us.
No,
stuff. Some people think in Hollywood that I hate them. It's not that I don't love them enough. I think they're super inspiring and they're amazing, and some studios do things that I would not ever know how to do that. Like Greta with Planet of the Apes and stuff. I'm looking at it, Avatar. What happens in those studios is mind-blowing.
It is.
It's mind-blowing. It's the inspiration, and they should keep doing that. But they can take care of themselves.
Yes.
Really. And they should not make me responsible for what they're doing. That's a completely different business. They have to be on the edge. What I want is to find out how can we get those monkeys in Blender for everyone. Right?
Yes.
What do we have to do for that?
And community is thanking you for
And if Weta would help us with that,
why not? Yeah, we're more than happy to take that.
Good.
That makes perfect sense. Thank you so much again for this. We hope to see you in BlenderCon
in Amsterdam.
Yes.
Okay.